Just a bunch of useless white guys, much like the college football playoff committee. Welcome back to Banner from the Cheap Seats. I am one of your hosts, Dakota, here with John and Mo. Where's Ken? Nobody knows. Uh, anyway, let's get into it. What's top of the business, gentlemen?
Yeah, we'll start off with what happened last week in the championship games. We'll start off with the first game of the night on Friday night, New Mexico State versus Liberty. This was an absolute shootout from kickoff. Final score was 35-49 in favor of Liberty. If you missed this game, I would highly recommend going back and watching it. Liberty runs one of the most beautiful offenses in all of college football.
Sensational.
Yeah.
I watched it up until the Oregon and Washington game came on, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not disappointed.
Yep.
Look, it put Liberty in the playoffs. No, I'm just kidding.
If they did not,
ain't no goddamn defense in that game.
If they did not have the second worst strength of schedule in FBS, I would say absolutely. I've been saying it jokingly just to pick at the Florida State fans, but
we'll get into that. Don't worry.
We'll get there. Liberty had 319 passing yards and almost the exact same amount of rushing yards as well. 393, I'm sorry. Just, it was nonstop from kickoff. But
20 of 25.
Yeah. Just, I love that offense. If Stoops would have left Kentucky, that would have been my first guy to choose from. But next we got Oregon versus Washington. This one lived up to the hype. Final score was 34-31 in favor of Washington.
Much like the first game.
Almost like you could have watched the first game on repeat and got the same thing.
Just as exciting.
Outside of the dumb fourth down, going forward on fourth down. But
I ain't gonna lie, Washington had us fooled. I really thought they was going to lose this one.
That defense stepped up when they needed to.
Michael Penix out there looking elite.
I let John convince me into picking Oregon. I'm not going to lie to you.
Fucking same.
I'm sorry.
I was like, man, you know what? He right. They're not going to beat them again. I was like, they're not going to win again.
Yeah, that's on me. I'll take the blame for it. I bought into the Bo Nix hype and got burned.
He didn't have a bad game. He just took too long to adjust to what Washington was doing. He waited a whole half.
Waited a whole half to get into it. Made some bad reads at the end.
That interception, the second to last possession, was awful. Brutal. It was an awful read.
That was Jake Plummer out there for Oregon, let me tell you.
We'll get to that game here in just a minute. Oh, my goodness.
No, Washington ran the ball. Your boy D. Johnson had 28 carries for 152 and 2 touchdowns. Penix didn't kill him.
Johnson was gassed as hell at the end of that game. Looked like he was in pain.
Put the team on his back.
But next we got the game that ruined my parlays. The Georgia Bulldogs finally lost the game in first time in 3 years to the Alabama Crimson Tide, 27-24.
Georgia, what happened? No.
I tried to tell you, man.
Yeah, I didn't listen. I also didn't listen to Dakota either. I even made fun of Dakota in our group.
Yeah, you even laughed at me when I suggested it.
I should have known during the pregame press conferences with Saban just smiling. That dude knew something was up, and I should have just changed all of my stuff while I had a chance. But
Saban out there smiling because he's going to show us why they call it the Alabama Invitational. God damn it!
I was like, put him in the top 4 weeks ago. I think I said that. Y'all was like, what? How? I was like, man, I don't know. Look. You got to put them in there. They on a roll.
If you go back and listen to the week of Texas versus Alabama. I said two different takes, and I said it can go either way. I said they're either going to play each other again or Alabama's going to fall off. And look what's happening.
And Saban took that loss personally.
They've been on another level ever since they benched Milroe and brought him back to the starting lineup.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Milroe had 192 yards passing, which is surprising, but he did run the ball a whole hell of a lot. He only had 29 yards rushing, but I think sack yards in college football kind of make that stat look a little worse than what it was.
I say, because when he was able to get mobile, he was mobile, but man got his shit rocked in that backfield quite a bit too.
Yeah. This game was a war from the start.
But one hell of a game.
Yeah.
Should have been an 8:00 game. I'm not gonna lie to you. This should have been.
We'll get to those.
Should have been the
That's
game.
fine.
We'll get to
night.
those. We're gonna talk shit about those two games.
The
I still got one. I got one more 4 o'clock, baby. Don't worry.
the early kickoff, that was a CBS staple with the SEC 3 o'clock kickoff. That is no more, unfortunately. They are going to be solely on ESPN next year.
You honestly hate to see it.
Yep, I'm going to miss the Vern Lundquist calls, but it is what it is.
He's got some of the best, most memorable calls in college football, honestly.
Yeah, like the kick
like-
six, for example.
I feel like
Auburn's going to win the football.
I feel like
game.
they shouldn't be beholden to networks. Like, just let them be free agents on who calls the best game.
If we're going to start talking about networks and stuff, you're going to get me ranting like I do about baseball. All right. Network contracts, media blackouts, shit like that is some of the dumbest fucking things that have ever happened to watching sports.
Yeah.
Speaking of dumb, Iowa versus Michigan.
Oh, you forgot about SMU. Go in order, bitch.
No. I'm going to go in this order. I had it. This is perfect. For some reason,
Perfect.
Iowa doesn't know how to score. They haven't scored all year. But I called it. I called it in the podcast last week that they would not score a single point against Michigan. God damn it, was I right? It's about the only thing I got right this weekend.
You give Iowa a comparable offense. That's probably the best team in football, honestly, because they lock down everybody.
It's crazy because they put out some of the best fucking tight ends in the NFL, and like, y'all can't. Why can't y'all score, man?
I have no idea.
If they could score, they don't have 3 losses.
Hell, they had JJ McCarthy at a 69, nice, 0.9 QBR. They held him to 147 yards passing and still give up 26 points. It was a painful game to watch.
You could score. Iowa could score like ridiculous.
Yeah.
All they know in Iowa is defense and corn.
Now to the game Dakota wanted me to go over. SMU.
It was a good game. Fuck you.
SMU versus Tulane.
Tulane ain't shit. Fuck you, Mo.
Hey, no, I picked SMU this week.
We both picked SMU in this one.
Bunch of fraudulent motherfuckers. Cost me money a lot this season because they can't cover a goddamn spread.
Yeah, no, they
can't even cover themselves up at night in bed. All right.
But Michael Pratt, the star for Tulane the last couple of seasons,
played terrible.
He had a 16.8 QBR.
Terrible game.
Went 21 for 36, 238 yards. He averaged 6 yards per pass, but having 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It was a tough watch. SMU surprisingly plays solid defense when they need to.
With a backup quarterback, because and I shit you not, broke his leg walking upstairs.
Yes.
Like houseway.
Yep.
I don't even know where to begin with that one. But SMU did have 203 yards passing and 193 on the ground. That's where Tulane got killed. They don't have a rushing game whatsoever. They had 31 yards rushing all game. How?
I don't have the answer. Sway.
I don't have the answers either. And for some reason, I just knew. When I watched SMU play Memphis, I was like, yeah, this SMU team is. They probably gonna beat Tulane. I was like, yeah, they probably gonna beat Tulane because Tulane has been struggling.
Yep.
SMU coming to a Power 5 near you.
We'll see them next year. It's gonna be a fucking.
It's gonna be a battle.
Yep.
Next, we had this game had a chance to be my favorite game of all time. The Big 12 Championship. It was sponsored by WWE. You had the Undertaker there to give out the trophy. You had one of my favorite country singers currently, Warren Ziders, singing the national anthem. He absolutely killed it. But then the game started, and it was unwatchable from kickoff.
Why? Because Clinton Ewers went out there and just hung his dick on him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
I was at work watching this game. And I was just like, damn, it's over with. It's over with.
Let him get up. Let him get up.
Quinn Ewers had 452 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and an interception that was just, I mean, it was a bad read, but that was the only bad ball he threw all game, honestly.
But they was beating him so bad they brought fucking.
They're about to back up in.
Yeah.
We saw Arch Manning for a minute, man.
No, we did not. We saw Malik Humphrey.
Was this not the game he came in for like 3 drives?
Nope.
Nah.
Oh no, I was drunk by then.
But yeah, this one was basically over at halftime. They scored 35. It was 35-14 at half, and then the final score was 49-21. Not too much to say. Just Oklahoma State just got the shit pushed in from kickoff.
Boat race. Grease their ankles, let their Tim's tap.
Oklahoma State looked like Riley Reid on a black couch, if you know what I'm talking about. Seek Jesus. Get help.
And then lastly, we got the game that cost Florida State a playoff berth. They won the game, but it was the ugliest game of the entire weekend. They beat Louisville 16-6. There was a point in the third quarter where it was 3-3, and he was just wanting the game to end. It was like watching Iowa versus Iowa.
You're not fucking wrong.
Plummer, listen, if you quit trying to fuck co-eds at O'Shea's and learn to throw a goddamn football, maybe you wouldn't have been to 7 schools in 5 fucking years, you useless fucking bum.
So if you haven't checked it out yet, go look at his latest Instagram post and look at the comments. It is gold.
Plummer, when I catch you, Plummer.
I mean, Florida State's entire defense caught him all game.
How do you step up into pressure, you ignorant fuck? Like, go the other goddamn way, not right into the fucking edge rusher's arms.
I don't even know where to begin with this. There was a chance.
I don't know. Maybe not throw the fucking receiver's feet. Maybe not to see some guy get an inch past your tackle and go, oh, great heavens, throw it to the fucking mic.
There was a point where
kill yourself.
There was a point in this game where
give me the money back.
Go ahead.
Give me the money back. I done gambled on your ass and fucking lost it. I fucking should have. All right. Cash app in the description. You useless fuck.
There was a point.
Enterprise employee of the goddamn month. I'm done now.
All right. There was a point in this game where Louisville could have took the lead, and if they would have took the lead, I think the game would have been over with. They got all the way down to the 5, and there was a touchdown that got called back or got reviewed.
But it was a touchdown.
Plummer,
fuck you.
I don't know. It's iffy. But there was a point where you thought all they got to do is run to get it in. They decided to throw a Plummer, and you know what happened after that.
Fucking Pete Carroll called the play for Louisville.
And you got Pete Carroll results. But
I don't know what to say, man.
If you add up the QBR from this game, from both quarterbacks, you get 25. 25! Plummer.
If North Alabama could put up 13 points on FSU, come on, man. University of North Alabama put up 13 points on this team, and we can't put up 12, 10.
I don't even know, man. It's so bad.
A Louisville team that actually has a. If Louisville actually had a mid quarterback, Plummer, you're not even mid. All right, you're dog shit. Louisville team with a mid quarterback, gets rid of at least 2-3 losses.
Hey, you got to
Or
put
the
some of
third
that on.
loss.
Put it on Brown too. Hey, you see, he's having a terrible game. Get him out of the game.
Bro, you telling me Connolly's going to do worse than whatever Plummer's doing? Or put fucking Thrash at quarterback. I don't give a fuck. Run the Wildcat all game. Better results.
Yeah, it was pretty damn ugly. But
This is nasty work.
total yards on the ground, Louisville had 111. Florida State only had 55. Why they didn't run while they were near the end zone? It's beyond me. But it is what it is. On to a lighter note. Well, a lighter note if you're not a Florida State fan. The college football playoff.
We'll get into the rant later.
What do you mean?
No, I got the whole rant about why Florida State should and should not be in there.
Well, yeah, we'll go over the ratings first, and then we're gonna just give Dakota his time here. But number one, we have Michigan, deserved, saw it coming. Number two, we got Washington. For some reason, I'm still wondering why they're over Alabama. I know they beat them head to head, but down the stretch, Alabama looked like a better team. It is what it is. Texas at number 3, and then Alabama at number 4. Number 5 was Florida State, outside looking in, and then Georgia. Yeah, and then number 7, Ohio State, didn't play in a conference championship, so they dropped down one spot automatically. And then Oregon, Missouri, Penn State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, Arizona moved up a couple of spots. Louisville finished. Yes. Louisville finished at 15. Notre Dame, for some fucking reason, kept climbing, even though they looked like shit a lot of times during the year. They finished at 16. Iowa is still inside the top 20 at 17. NC State, well-deserved at 18. Oregon State at 19. 20 is Oklahoma State. Tennessee, for some fucking reason, is still ranked at 21.
SEC bias.
Absolutely, but I would say that. But then we got Clemson at 22.
Fuck Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, they finished the year pretty good. Unfortunately,
still preying on Dabo's downfall.
Well, they played the back half of the SEC or ACC. I'm sorry. So that's why they look so good. Liberty at 23 at 13-0. Why they're not inside the top 15 is probably due to their strength of schedule. 24 SMU. I think they're better than Liberty. They play a tougher schedule, but it is what it is. Kansas State at 25. Why they're ranked 25 after getting blown out their last game is beyond me as well. So there's your playoff rankings. Dakota, the floor is yours on why the Seminoles didn't get put into the playoff.
1 second, gentlemen. I need to get adjusted.
Oh man, this man is putting on.
He's putting on his college jacket, like his professor jacket. Oh, and the glasses. Okay,
He's put the glasses on too.
All right, gentlemen, let's get into it. So, before we begin, two of the main criteria that the committee goes off of is strength of schedule and strength of result. For the knuckle-dragging troglodytes that listen to this podcast, we're going to define both of those for you real quick. All right? Strength of schedule refers to the difficulty or ease of a team or person's opponent as compared to other teams, players, all that bullshit. This is especially important if teams in the league do not play each other the same number of times. Now, strength of record from ESPN, strength of record is a measure of a team's accomplishment based on how difficult a team's win-loss record is to achieve. These are two very important things to look at that the, overpaid white folk at the committee look through. So we're going to start going down a list of the 6 teams that were in contention for the playoffs. All right, we'll start with Michigan. Michigan, their opponent's overall record is 83-75. That is combined of all the teams they played, their win-loss records. They had 3 top 25 victories their entire schedule. This is including teams that were ranked, no longer ranked, and teams that got their rankings, later on in the season because things change. So they had 3 top 25 victories all season. Their strength of schedule was 51.
Okay.
I thought it was 55.
Florida State.
That's what I'm saying.
I said Michigan.
Oh, my bad.
We're on Michigan right now. We'll get there. Don't worry. Keep up. Michigan's strength of schedule was 51. Their strength of record was number 2. So their win-loss record and what they did is viewed as the second most difficult in the nation to achieve.
Okay.
Next, we have Washington. Washington's opponents' records, all added up, is 76-63 with 4 top 25 wins. 5 if you count the double up on Oregon, and if you count the double up on Oregon, then their opponent's win-loss record is 87-64. 65.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive. Their strength of schedule to begin the season was number 8 in the nation. So it was a very difficult schedule going in and the number 1 strength of record. So the algorithm they use to do this, because it's not people that judge this, it is a computer system they enter everything into. $1 million computer smarter than we'll ever fucking be, do the math for us. So they have the most difficult record in football based on how every team did and how they won. Next up, we have Texas. Texas, very impressively, all their opponents were 91-78.
Holy shit.
With 4 top 25 wins. I forgot. I mentioned it on Washington. So 91-78 with 4 top 25 wins. They had the second toughest schedule in college football this year. If you're curious who number 1 was, it was Arizona.
Hey.
Their strength of record is number 5. So the 5th most difficult to achieve these goals. Looking at the number 4 team, Alabama. Alabama had their opponents combined 98-61 with 5 top 25 victories. The number 6 strength of schedule in the nation and the number 4 strength of record. Now, let's go to Georgia. Georgia, their opponents' records are 84-68 with 5 top 25 victories. 45th strength of schedule, 7th strength of record. Florida State, opponents' record added up 70-74. It's not terrible. With 3 top 25 victories. Maybe 4, I'd have to go back and double check because there's 1 or 2 I'm not positive about looking at it.
It's 3.
No, it's 4.
Oh. I guess by the time they played them, but when the season was over with, it was only 3.
LSU, Duke, Notre Dame, Louisville, 4.
So 3 to end the season.
Duke, 3 to end the season. But Duke was a ranked team until literally this game when their quarterback went out.
Gotcha.
The number 3 strength of record. So they have the 3rd most difficult record to achieve based off the teams they play. That's a very important statistic to look at. To put things into perspective for teams that weren't in, Ohio State's number 6 strength of record, 6th most difficult to achieve. Oregon Ducks, number 10. The Liberty Flames, number 14.
But their strength of schedule is 2nd worst in all of college football.
Is absolute dog shit. But this was the but based on how everything is at the end, yeah, they had the 133rd strength of schedule. Our Louisville Cardinals, 16. Strength of record, strength of schedule, 53. So based on how all the teams played at the end and how we did, we get the 16th most difficult record to achieve. John's Kentucky Wildcats, their strength of record was 35. Their strength of schedule, 24. So,
That's what happens when you play a
depending on
bunch
how
of
you,
MAC schools.
and you get that on them bigger jobs. So if we're going to go off, they talk about strength of record this, strength of record that, when FSU not making the playoffs. Okay, that's cool. Michigan's just a few spots ahead of them, not a whole lot ahead of them on the strength of schedule. Why don't we bring that up? Michigan didn't play a fucking soul till the end. They cakewalked their way to the Big Ten.
As always.
They didn't play a team that had a rank until
Was it Penn State?
It was Penn State.
Penn State, the 10th team they played that year.
Yep. We mentioned
They
that a
played
few times.
nine-
Mentioned that a few times on the
9
podcast.
unranked opponents.
Hey, you'd love to see it.
But nobody talks about Michigan's strength of schedule. Why?
Because they're Michigan.
Because they're Michigan and they're in the Big Ten. Meh. I have a lot of hatred towards the Big Ten. But number 3 strength of record for Florida State. Like, it's above Alabama. It's above Texas. Definitely above Georgia. Doesn't get brought up. Everybody's argument for it. Now, this is not me taking Florida State's side. I do understand. I totally understand why they're pissed they didn't make it. You have a Power 5 undefeated conference champion that just gets overlooked. And a lot of people's arguments are strength of schedule, Michigan similar. Strength of record, Michigan similar. Oh, but their starting quarterback starting. We don't know if the second string's coming back. Well, one, the second string is coming back, and he's not terrible. He kind of held his own towards the end there. 2, if Florida State's quarterback is that goddamn important that you can eliminate an undefeated Power 5 conference team, using that as one of your biggest arguments,
Give him the Heisman.
why is he not having the Heisman? That's obviously the most important player in college football right now.
You're not fucking wrong on that.
So I get it, they're pissed. I do. Does Florida State have an argument to be an abso-fucking-lutely? They do. But college football is going to protect their brand. They're going to do what's going to bring in the most fucking money. And the schools that are going to give them the most money are those big SEC schools and them cocksuckers up in the Big Ten.
You're not wrong.
Texas with that oil money.
So they're going and Texas oil money.
I want to point
We all
this
know
out.
Texas-
I want to point this out before we move on. Every team that's in the playoff next year is either in the Big Ten or the SEC. Washington's going to the Big Ten. Texas is coming to the SEC.
Don't get me started on conference realignment. I could do 14 hours since no more. Fucking big 52. But the other argument, to quote Kirby Smart, you whiny bitch, didn't make it. It's the 4 best teams. As of things standing right now, they've got the 4 best teams. Unfortunately. So, in conclusion, FSU did get bucked. I understand why they're angry about it, because apparently if you're not Big Ten or SEC, no one gives a fuck. And they all scared of Liberty. God damn it.
Hey, I got one more. I got another point to throw in here. The ACC, if they are so mad about this, they need to look in the mirror. Because I don't know if y'all remember that alliance thing that came up a few years ago or 2 years ago.
Mhm.
There was an alliance made between the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 of delaying the playoff by a year. So Florida State would have been in. So it's your own damn selves you have to blame right now. Blame your
Another argument.
Blame your commissioner for siding with the alliance, which honestly, the alliance thing was just the Big Ten trying to get a play on the Pac-12 and stealing their own teams.
Mm-hmm. But another argument to be made: 2018, when Clemson made the playoffs, who the fuck did they play?
Not a soul. Same with Florida State in 2014, and they got exposed by Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't they win in 2014?
No, that was 2013.
Okay.
I might have my years mixed up. I'm sorry.
I just remember, Jameis Winston at the end. They said, we scrounk. I said, we scrounk. I did.
Now, the only thing I remember of Jameis Winston was his flop and fumble against Oregon.
Jameis Winston beat Alabama to win a BCS championship. So.
Auburn. He beat Auburn, not Alabama.
Was it Auburn?
Yep.
He beat A.J. McCarron.
No.
Didn't he?
Nope. He beat Auburn in that Auburn Miracle Run.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
When Auburn had that crazy catch against Georgia, and then later on that season had the kick six.
You're right. Apologies.
I definitely don't remember that. I must have been drunk all the time.
I'm something about old football. The tism just it hits.
But in conclusion, my dick hard. Florida State did get fucked. They're justifiably angry. Now, for our next exciting presentation, John's going to tell Mo why he should quit hating on goddamn military academy football. Because the game of the week, and the only fucking one, is Army versus Navy, baby.
So this is a win and you're in situation. If either of these teams win, they're both 5-6. Whoever wins gets a bowl game. You lose, have fun watching the other team. Both of these teams, neither team has a quarterback.
Wait, is there still a bowl game for them to be dropped in on? Or all 43 slots filled?
I'm assuming that they'll have somebody, but neither team has a quarterback over 800 yards or 900 yards passing. It's it's gonna be straight up triple option the whole way.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Navy, for example, has 4 guys over 200 yards rushing for the season. They have one guy, their fullback, with 724 yards. And for Army, so when I say fullback for these academy teams, it's basically just another running back because they run a full house option. But for Army, they have one rusher over 800 yards and one with 436 and then another with 205. And then it's just a ton of guys who just have touches. But if you're betting on this game, bet the over in rushing yards. That's all you're going to get the entire game. If there's a pass, the reason why I enjoy these games, if there's a pass, you got to chug whatever drink you have. Because you might not see another.
Also, every bowl game is filled up for the record, so this is just for bragging rights.
Well, if one team wins, they'll have one of the 5 and 6 or 5 and 7 teams slotted into a bowl game.
Oh, word.
Or they'll find somebody who is 6 and 6 that's not in one.
Cool.
I think that's how it works. I could be wrong.
Man, that's how I'm gonna play against James Madison, bro.
Air Force already is.
Oh, Air Force is already?
I hope James Madison runs it up for the sake of our parlays that they ruined.
Run it, baby.
Air Force, you bombs!
But this game also has a trophy on the line for the first time in a while because Air Force has kind of dominated it recently.
Air Force fumbled, so the President's Cup,
The
Commander-in-Chief
Commander-in-Chief trophy is on the line for this game. if Army wins. If Navy wins, I'm not sure how that tiebreaker works. Because it's a 3-team run for one trophy. And if each beat the other, I don't know what they do.
So
So
I think the tiebreaker's overall record, not positive.
So it would go to Air Force regardless. So if Navy wins, it goes to Air Force. If Army wins, they keep it.
Yep.
Go Army. Fuck Air Force for right now.
But the only one of the 3 academies that actually threw the ball was Air Force, but kind of shut the bed down the stretch.
They fell off hard.
Another thing to watch in this is the uniforms that they're bringing out for this game, which are always classic.
Let's say they've already shown them. Army this year it's like a tan. It's it's a tan. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't. I'm half fucking colorblind.
Yeah, they something to do with war in Iran or Iraq. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, it's for the Gulf War, and it's got their bulldog mascot on it.
And the Navy,
the Rock of the Martyr. It's a dog-faced soldier's uniform in tribute to the 3rd Infantry Division, with Rocky the Bulldog on the helmets. They are pretty fucking sexy.
Navy's is better, way better.
Navy always got elite uniforms, man. I'm telling you. They are the Silent Guardian uniforms. It's in tribute to the stealth submarine purpose. The helmet has the Navy anchor on the side. It's just gorgeous.
Yep. Since this is our game of the week, we'll go ahead and read through what we got here. The spread, Army is favored by 2.5. The total is 27.5.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful. I love it.
And they're playing in Boston, where the fucking Patriots have sucked ass.
As a Colts fan, you love to see it.
Hey, there might be better passing in this game than there has been a Patriots game all year. Shout out to Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Fucking bum.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So, who we taking? Mo, we'll start with you since you just love shitting on the academy teams.
Oh my God. I'm taking Army just because fuck Air Force, bro.
That's fair.
Get that trophy, keep it.
Oh,
Army's had some good wins this year. They've looked pretty good in several of their games. Plus, it's Navy.
I wish y'all could see. I wish they could see the pictures of the season leaders of their stats. Holy!
Oh my God! It is.
It's a whole lot of rushing yards.
It's elite. I'm telling you.
I'm going to go Army. They haven't been blown out all year outside of the game against LSU, and they did beat the hell out of a ranked Air Force team.
It's kind of where I'm leaning. They've had the tougher opponents and have held on for most of it. Give me Army.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's what it is.
Some people don't think it'd be like that, but it do.
But on to the UofL and UK bowl games. UofL got thrown into the bowl pool, if that's what you want to call it. And there was a little bit of a scramble to get them in a game because a lot of the ACC schools have already claimed a bowl by the time that FSU had been snubbed. So Louisville had to scramble for a bowl game, and a lot of these other bowl games didn't want them.
So the problem with Louisville getting a bowl game was Louisville could not be given a bowl until all the bowls knew until the ACC knew what was going to happen with Florida State.
Right.
because the Orange Bowl is contractually obligated to take the highest ranking ACC team available. It is in the contract. So if FSU went in, Louisville was going to the Orange Bowl. Obviously, FSU didn't get in, so contractually, FSU is going to the Orange Bowl.
Nah.
And there's been a lot of changes recently on who goes where for bowls, like the ACC team anymore. And they were already kind of filling everything in on them, so Louisville just kind of got dropped into a halfway decent bowl. Yeah.
Where they play a Caleb Williams-less SC team.
A little upsetting. I was hoping we could make him cry. But, Brom, if you're going to start Plummer, I'm not even going to watch the game. I'm not.
Yeah.
I ain't going to waste my fucking time.
We know what we got, bro. Let's see the youngins. We know what he is. We
My
know what
favorite
he's
part
not.
about bowl season is let's see how the backups are supposed to look.
Let's see how they look. You got Pierce. You got a 4-star. See what he look like.
Yep.
Dude, the kid looked like a fucking Shooter McGavin's caddy from Caddyshack.
UK ended up getting, for some reason, they got Clemson, who's 8-4.
I'm gonna need y'all to dog walk Clemson.
If Ray Davis plays, I'm gonna put a pretty good amount of money on that game. Because Clemson's front seven, half of their guys are sitting out.
Mm-hmm.
But like Dabo said, put all your money on Clemson. Buy your stock, motherfucker. But they're
I hate
playing
him when he talks about money, bro. He's the last person I want to ever hear talk about money.
This man straight up said, "Oh, we've been doing NIL here forever. Name, image, and likeness for the Lord." Shut up.
Jesus Christ.
Shut up, cornball.
That soundbite gave me cancer.
And then you got fans of his calling him out. He didn't hit him with a pony up thing like Stoops did. He hit him with, "You think it's so easy, you do it."
Gladly. Let me change my career forever. Let me go be a college football coach.
Yeah, so I can get a buyout of ridiculous amount of money and be set for life. Go fuck yourself, Dabo.
I'm just saying, you give me and John a college football team, we're gonna get 7 wins. I promise you.
We're running the most reckless offense of all time.
Fuck it.
It's gonna be it is what it is, and just throw it deep every time.
Air raid and fucking over blitzes. It's great.
It would look like what Liberty does, but at a higher level. A higher level.
The offense gonna love it. The offense gonna love it then.
But anyways, Deion Walker is playing, and so is Devin Leary. So I expect us to win this game. Kublik, I think that's what his name is, their quarterback. He's like a little bit better version of Plummer.
Don't insult that boy like that.
I said what I said.
Plummer worse.
He's just slightly better than Plummer. Statue quarterback, can't really move. Makes some pretty awful throws at times. Kentucky is plus 250 last time I checked. So if you want to make some money, take them on the money line.
Plus 250.
But last thing we're going to end on, probably the last little thing that's going to give us all a little bit of hope. The transfer portal. Mo, do you still got that pulled up?
I believe I do.
All right.
Yeah,
who's the big name?
Come on, CBS. Don't act stupid now. All right, what we want to know. What we want to know, baby. What's up?
Give us the top names that's in there.
All right, we got Ohio State's quarterback, Kyle McCord.
Pass.
We got Dylan Gabriel, Oklahoma.
All right.
We got Dante Moore, UCLA. Cameron Ward, Washington State. He used to
Elite.
play at Houston, didn't he used to play in Houston?
I don't know. Might
Or
have to
was
fact
it
check that one.
Arkansas? I can't remember which one though. We got Will Howard, Kansas State. Notre Dame getting worse by the fucking year. Tobias Merriweather, wide receiver. Duke starting quarterback Riley Leonard.
Injury prone.
Yeah. Oregon State DJ Ukulele.
First person who's ever attempted that name and got it right.
Our very own Chance Grayson McCall, baby.
That dude's gonna make
And
some coach a lot of money.
And we got LT Overton, A&M D-line.
Hold my balls, McCall to Louisville. Let me just rock out with my dick out. It's gonna be great.
That'll be nice, but you know, he don't.
That's
McCall,
he don't fit the
McCall looks
mold.
like he can run. McCall looks like he can run, and Brom don't like that shit.
Y'all might end up with a Riley Leonard.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean, I'd take Helen Keller over fucking Plummer.
whew. Kentucky's rumored to get Georgia backup quarterback Vandergriff. It's just another one of those guys that Georgia just decides to run off because they don't fit the Kirby Smart mold of crackhead, cokehead, whatever.
They ain't got Circle K feet. They can't play for Georgia.
If they don't look questionable for substance abuse, they ain't starting.
If they ain't a regular at a 7th Street strip club, ain't no way.
Whew. My God. Well, anybody on y'all's wish list outside of McCall?
DJ,
Prime Megan Fox.
DJ and Grayson for QBs.
Grayson's definitely not going there. He's probably gonna go somewhere that lets him run a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at Liberty. That's his old head coach there.
Mm-hmm.
You just said wish list. I gave you my wish.
I'm sorry, man. My bad.
You said wish. I didn't say it's done deal. I just
All I want is a decent quarterback and wide receivers that catch the ball on a consistent basis. I don't ask for much.
Yeah, that's not asking a lot. What about you, Dakota? Besides the prime Megan Fox?
At least a mid quarterback.
That's asking too much, bro.
I wouldn't be upset getting another receiver. Give Thrash some help if he returns. I believe he's returning.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
I ain't seen nothing
I haven't heard
on
anything.
him leaving yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything either.
Be nice if Gorindo comes back as a 5th year, because I believe he is a senior.
Ooh.
So you give me another backfield of Gorindo and Jordan
Thrash.
Morrow for a year. Get
Thrash.
Thrash another slot receiver to help, and a quarterback that can hit somebody in the fucking chest.
Or in the hands.
I didn't get to bring this up the last episode because Dakota wasn't here. The last play of the UK UofL game. The ball was still in the air, and this man was heading for the exits. Didn't stick around. Knew it was coming. Just already down the ramp, getting out of there.
John told me he had time to look back at me leaving, look back, and the ball's still in the air.
So I was like, there's not somebody to my right. What's going on? So I peeked over and then looked back, looked back, and it was intercepted. And already gone.
He already
As
knew.
soon as it
He
left
knew
that
what was up.
motherfucker, as soon as it left that motherfucker's noodle alarm, I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna piss before the bathrooms get flooded with people."
Oh, you you love to see it if you're me, but God bless. But
And that was the second game Jake Plummer threw away.
Yeah, I think about it midway through the season. I was like, the season's gonna ride on them, and they rolled on them. All right, they rode us right out of the motherfucking playoffs and out of a top bowl game. You love to see it. Hate to be right.
it is what it
Anybody
is.
anybody got any random sports bet locks for the people? Any sport at all.
No, I'm scared. I've been taking a beating.
Kentucky to cover the spread in basketball versus Penn because they just lost to UNC Wilmington, so they're going to play a little pissed off.
Y'all are allowed to lose a game like that just because.
I'm
Just,
tired.
just
I'm tired of
you can
losing.
play down. You can play down. You can play down one game, bro. It's not gonna kill y'all.
Tired of losing.
I've got the Beijing Warriors money line on Thursday morning. It's a plus 170. They've got a pretty solid record right now, so
Wong
go ahead
Tong
and lock that
Tigers.
one in.
Ni hao.
I'm ready to bet on some goddamn tennis. Fuck it.
Or there's a way to make a lot of money on tennis, but you have to actually watch the tennis game to do it. It's a lot of live betting. I've made $200 in one tennis match before doing it. But you got to watch tennis and you got to be fucking quick.
Oh no, these apps be fucking up in the middle of trying to place a live bet.
So you gotta be fucking fast and you gotta have good internet connection to do it. But if you want a real bet, give me Indiana Pacers over the Milwaukee Bucks on Thursday night.
Oh, the end game tournament. Hey, I don't know what
Yep.
the fuck's going on with. They've been playing out of their minds.
But Indiana's back, baby.
Tyrese
You
Halliburton
used
been
to
going
break at times like
crazy.
this.
No, it's
Halliburton
your
going
lot.
crazy. I don't got one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, we'll say your locks army. Oh, that was a show.
Let's wrap this bitch up.
That was a show. Make sure you follow us on all our socials at Cheap Pop Productions. If you haven't checked us out on our wrestling podcast yet, we are the Cheap Pop Wrestling Podcast as well. Make sure you check us out on TikTok. Put out some pretty entertaining content at Pop This Potty for the Cheap. But with all that being said, this is Hook signing out. And go Cats.
It's Mo signing out. Please get us a quarterback.
Before we go, I'd just like to say shout out to all the thick bitches that ride dick with their shirt on.